This is not just a meatball. No, this is a frikkadel. Perhaps it is not unique to South Africa, but here in Africa it became something entirely its own. It begins with real beef, from cattle bred to survive the harsh African climate and the diseases that belong to this land. The meat is coarsely ground by hand in an old meat grinder and then prepared with care in a large mixing bowl on the kitchen table, just as it has been done for generations. First come the spices and herbs from the pantry, measured carefully and sprinkled layer upon layer. The wider you spread them, the better the flavors work their way through the meat. Then comes the coriander, roasted in the oven by Grandpa and ground to perfection in his old coffee grinder, just the way only he could do it. Almost last comes a generous handful of dry breadcrumbs, or nowadays oats when they are available. Not only to bind the mixture together, but to make a single frikkadel go further, turning it into a filling and satisfying meal. Finally, fresh eggs from the farmyard are added, and everything is mixed and worked together again and again, until Mother is satisfied. A small piece is fried in the pan for everyone to taste. The aroma of cooking frikkadel slowly drifts through the old farmhouse, a smell that will linger long into the night. Everyone waits while Mother tastes it. She stares thoughtfully into the distance. If it isn't right, more salt or spices must be added and everything mixed again. Then she nods. It's perfect. Now the frikkadel are rolled. First, the large ones for lunch tins and for tonight's supper with potatoes and curried beans. Then slightly smaller ones for preserving in jars of lard. And finally, the little ones for funerals and church gatherings, because in the countryside you never know when they may be needed. The recipe was never written down. It changed with the seasons and with whatever was available on the farm. Game and pork often found their way into the mixture. Times were hard, and food was never wasted. It was a recipe built on experience rather than measurements. And so, a masterpiece of Afrikaner culture was formed, one that fed farmers working in the fields and traveled in the lunch tins of barefoot children walking the long dusty road to school. For generations, the frikkadel has been part of every important moment, from birth to birthdays, and every table where family gathers to times of sorrow and final farewells. Before refrigerators and freezers existed, jars of frikkadel preserved in lard were a farm wife's insurance against hard times, when no other meat was available. This tradition of preserving and providing was passed down from grandmother to daughter and from mother to granddaughter. And when evening fell and the family gathered around the wooden kitchen table, Father would open the family Bible and read. There, among all the beloved South African dishes, the humble frikkadel proudly held its place. Then Father would thank God, who provided, and to the hands that prepared the meal. Because this is more than food. This is heritage. This is family. This is frikkadel the African way.